Hello, welcome back to the series of lectures on English poems. Today I am going to discuss William Shakespeare's Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, sonnet number 18. The poem is instrumental in understanding how sonnet, an Italian art form, was assimilated into English poetry and how this English sonnet is different from its original Italian counterpart. The poem is in the syllabus of West Bengal SLST examination. It is also in the syllabus of various UG courses under different universities. It is also in the class 12 syllabus of different boards. So, it is a very common, a very well known poem of William Shakespeare. Sonnet that was originated in Italy came into England with the hands of White and Surrey, reached its height with Shakespeare. Shakespeare not only diverted that path that was created by Petrarch and others in Italy, rather he also make experimentation in its form and in its theme. We find that in original Italian sonnet, the 14 line is divided into two parts, octave and sestet. In Shakespeare's hand, that 14 line is divided into 3 quatrains and a couplet. In traditional Italian sonnets, we find the theme is love. Love between a beloved who is reluctant and a lover who is every time wooing the beloved. A courtly love is treated, but in the hands of Shakespeare we find that traditional courtly love is no longer there. Here you find love not only between a male and a female, but a love between men and men, a kind of friendship. And again, in place of courtly love, we find a love where a fair youth is expressing his love for a dark lady. So, that traditional way of the lover wooing the beloved is no longer here. The traditional way of lover describing the beloved in a very glorious term is no longer here. Rather, here we find that a lover truly speaking out his emotions in a very lucid language. Shakespeare has written altogether 154 sonnets that was published in the year 1609 by Thomas Thorpe. That 154 sonnets are divided into two sections. The first section 1 to 126 are called Fair Youth sonnet, where Shakespeare's love, passion for a fair youth is expressed, and the next section sonnet number 127 to 154 are called Dark Lady sonnet, where the lover's emotion for a dark lady is expressed. The sonnets are dedicated to some mysterious WH. About the true identity of that WH is shrouded in mystery, who is the only begetter of that collection of sonnets. According to some critics, it is William Howard. Some also argues that it is not William Howard but Henry Wriothesley, Earl of Southampton and Earl of Pembroke. The two patrons, they have the high chance of becoming that WH. And again, that fair youth of that first section, sonnet number 1 to 126 of those sonnets may also be related, may also be equated with that Southampton and Pembroke. This sonnet, sonnet number 18, we find that it begins with a rhetorical question. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? The answer is given very straightforwardly in the next line. My friend's beauty is more lovely and more temperate. And the next 6 lines we are told, or rather we are explained in what way the poet's friend's beauty is much more lovelier and temperate than the summer's day. In the third quatrain, that is from line number 9 to 12, we find a contrast between summer's beauty and the beauty of poet's friend. And the next 2 lines, the concluding couplet, they emphatically with their monosyllabic words tells us the power of poetry to immortalize the love, to immortalize the beauty of that friend. So that eternal theme from Horace and Ovid, that how to immortalize love through poetry, how to immortalize a man through poetry is very much there. So the eternal theme of time and love is very much treated in the last section of the poem. Now let us go through the poem. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Its structure is a traditional Shakespearean structure, 3 quatrains and a couplet, and the rhyme scheme is also typically Shakespearean. The first quatrain is of AB AB, the second quatrain is CD CD, third quatrain is EF EF, and the concluding couplet is rhyming GG. It begins with a rhetorical question. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So instead of a statement saying that I cannot compare you to a summer's day, Shakespeare makes that statement into a question, and the answer is implied within that question. And instead of saying it plainly through a statement, a question is made for emphasis, to make that point clear that I cannot do that. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Now, a summer's day, so it refers to a single day of the season. It may also mean that not a single day of summer, rather the whole summer season, a use of synecdoche, a single day referring to the whole season. In the next line, we are given a direct, straightforward answer that I cannot compare you to a summer's day. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. So, your art is more lovely and more temperate than a summer's day. Rough winds do shake the darling birds of May. So, these are the negative elements of summer for which I cannot compare you to a summer's day. The first line is a rhetorical question, the second line is a direct answer, and the next 6 lines we are given the explanation why the poet is unable to compare the friend's beauty to a summer's day. Rough winds do shake the darling birds of May. So, one of the reasons that I cannot compare you to a summer's day is that summer has rough winds which ultimately disrupts the beautiful birds of May. And summer's lease hath all too short a date. So, the duration of summer is very short. Summer is obviously very enjoying, but that the duration of that enjoying moments are very ephemeral, are very short-lived. Lease refers to a legal contract where something is given to a man for a particular duration of time. So, summer's lease refers to the duration of summer. It is all too short a date that is duration. So, summer's duration is very short. Summer is very short-lived. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. Sometime. Here in this edition, here we have sometime, but in some edition there is sometime, some hyphen time, and again in some editions we have sometimes an S at the end of the word. So, sometime, some hyphen time refers to a particular point of time, whereas sometimes where there is a S at the end of that word, it refers to occasionally. So, at the time when Shakespeare was writing, these two words, the meaning of these two words are quite overlapping. So, sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. So, eye of heaven refers to sun. Now, this is very common during the time when you find that Ovid is using it, this particular image where sun is compared with an eye. Milton is using it in Il Penseroso. We find Shakespeare is again using it Richard III, and again in Rape of Lucrece in sonnet number 7. Marlowe is using it in Tamburlaine. So, this is a very common an image which is used during the Elizabethan era. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. So, sometimes the sun shines in a very fierce manner. So, this is another element for which I cannot compare you to a summer's day. And often is this gold complexion. Gold complexion refers to the bright appearance of the sun, the gold complexion dimmed. So, sometimes it is gold complexion dimmed, and every fear from fear sometimes declines. So, here you find the use of pun. Fear is used twice here, but these two times we find two different meanings are there. The first fear refers to the fair qualities, whereas the next fear refers to the fair things actually. So, fair is used here as noun. So, every fair, so every beautiful things from fear, from that beautiful qualities sometimes declines. By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. So, it changes sometimes by chance, by an accident, or nature's changing course, or it is the law of nature that beautiful things will not remain beautiful forever. So, one day that beautiful thing will lose its beauty. So, that fear things declines from that quality of fairness, sometimes by chance, or it is the laws of nature that makes him untrimmed. Untrimmed means despoiled of beauty. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. So, this is Volta at the beginning of the third quatrain at the 9th line. Okay. So, this is the way we find that the track of that poetry is slightly getting changed. But thy eternal summer, thy refer to the poet's friend, thy eternal summer. So, your youthful beauty shall not fade. So, it will never fade. Nor lost possession of that fear thou owest. So, compare this fear with the fear that is used at the at line number 7. So, the fear, the beautiful qualities that you own, it will never lose. Okay. Nor death shall brag thou wanderest in his shade. Even death, which is all powerful, which takes away everything which it finds in its way, is unable to take you into its shade. So, that shade refers to the shadow of death. Nor death shall brag. Brag means to say or talk very boastfully. So, death, which is very proud because it has the power to take away everything that falls in its way, but death is also helpless to take you. Okay. Death do not have that power to take that glory from you. when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So you will grow with eternal time, okay, with line, with this verse. So lines here refers to the verse. So this third quatrain, it hammers out kind of contrast between summer's beauty and the friend's beauty with the help of an emphatic but at the very beginning, and that anaphoric notes at line number 10 and 11. And in this concluding couplet, the final couplet, we find it has a kind of a monosyllabic base. It offers a kind of robust plainlet which rounds off the entire exercise with a resounding hyperbolic finale. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see. So long posterity will be there, so long human beings will be there on earth, so long lives this. This refers to this poem, okay, this expression of my emotions, this expression of my love for you. So that point of time it will live, and this gives life. Life refers to immortality here. This gives life to thee, and this poetry it will give you immortality. So this is how the poem ends, talking about the or rather celebrating the power of poetry, okay, the power of love, okay, that can subdue even death, which is all powerful, which takes away everything, okay. Poetry has the power, love has the power to resist that death. If you have any queries, any questions, any observations, you can express that in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching the video.